Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again, great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of SUI, AVAX, HBAR and Dogecoin. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. If you also want to trade with cheap taker fees, then I can recommend you the crypto exchange mexc, which has a similar trading volume to Bitget and Bybit, but as you can see I already highlighted you it here. The taker fees are far much lower than on the other top crypto exchanges, and on top of that you can get an additional 20% discount on those low taker fees if you use my referral link, which you can find in the video description. 100 pairs, 0 fees just on mexc, and here you can trade some popular altcoins without any fees on mexc. So let's get to SUI. We have said about SUI that we might have here in rectangle. If it breaks to the upside, then we can expect a push into the fair value gap. We got a small push to the upside, but it might be possible that we finished and completed that push with this price development. Why that? Because in bright blue you can see a rising wedge. That rising wedge already broke to the downside and got its retest. Here was the breakout, here was the retest, and now we are getting for lower prices. So basically I can put the target of that rising wedge, which is the spread of the rising wedge, put it to the retest point. Target is going to be the $3.08, $3.07. So we have also said that rectangles are unique, that we can break a rectangle to the upside, but we can still get into the target if we break it to the downside. So the target of the rectangle, if we break it to the downside, which is currently the $3.18, is also the $3.08. The $3.08 are also support. We can already see it here. Here's a support box. We already got support here once, and I think we will also get it twice. So SUI looks short to me into the area $3.18.6. If we also break that price mark to the downside, then I would increase my position size into the $3.08. Here I would take profits because it might be possible that we break the $3.08 to the downside, but since this whole area, even down to $2.85 is a support area, it might be possible that we just weaken to that and get a push to the upside. Then we have to see if we are going to form some bullish chart patterns on the way down. So what about AVAX? Like I said, AVAX is going sideways, so basically I can't do much with it. I have seen here in orange a rising wedge. It broke already to the downside, got its retest several times, so I put the length of that rising wedge, which is the spread, to the retest point. Target 20.9 cents. I think that we can even drop lower, down to $19.85. If we lose the $19.85, then AVAX would be short to me into the area $19.24, and this is still a possible trade of 3%. If we also lose the $19.25, then I think some bigger movement to the downside is ongoing, which can even reach the fair value gaps down to $17 for AVAX. I have also seen a new resistance trendline, which is currently at $21. If we break the $21 to the upside, then we have a good chance getting into $21.30. If we also break it to the upside, then I think we get a nice move up to $22.50 for AVAX, because we also have here a fair value gap between $21.88 to $22.18. I will also put you here two price marks so you can see that number. So first one here and the second one here. So if we look into HBAR, then yesterday I had in rectangle on the chart, the rectangle was this one, the box here. This here was the rectangle. So I think that's why I took it out. I think that we currently have a bear flag or rising wedge. So if we look into the panel, this can be the bear flag with 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points on the downside and 2 touch points on the upside. Yeah, on the upside, I expect more touch points on the upside, but that's also valid in my opinion. And here also in dark blue, the trend line, I will make it, let's say for now, in orange. So we can see it better. So we can also say that this development here is in rising wedge within the bear flag. So we are currently at support. If we lose the 16.77 cents to the downside, then I take the spread of that rising wedge, put it to the breakout point. The breakout point would also be the breakout point of the bear flag. And I think if we lose that 16.77 cents to the downside, then the target is going to be 16.45 cents. If we also lose it, position size increasement into the 16 cents. If we lose the 16 cents as well, then we had here a rectangle which broke to the upside, which got to its target. But we also say for rectangles, if we break to the upside, here was somewhere the target of that rectangle. Then on the later time, we can even get far higher, but on the later time, we should get into the other target of that rectangle. So it doesn't matter where we break it to the upside, it matters more in which order are we breaking it to the upside. So if we break it to the upside, then with a higher chance we are going to sell off and get to the target on the downside. If we break to the downside first, then we have the chance getting to the upside. And this can be a bullish movement. For now it looks like to me a bearish movement. So we have to see. If the 16.1 cents breaks to the downside, then I think 15.7 cents is going to be the target of that old rectangle. But also we have our next good support at 15.4 cents. And the 15.4 cents are also the target of a bearish pennant in dark blue. And we also had in the past a rectangle. Target is also 15.9 cents. So everything looks bearish to me. So I would look for the price marks here. The first target 16.77 cents. If it breaks to the downside, short into 16.45 cents. If it also breaks, short 16.8 cents. If it also breaks to the downside, short into this bigger area, and here I would start to take profit for HBAR. If for some reason we get a push to the upside, then the rising wedge is going to get invalidated, but the bear flag is still ongoing. So I want to see the 17.65 cents breaking to the upside, then I can be at least a bit bullish, and if we get the 18 cents breaking to the upside, then I would get my confirmation that we don't get a new low for HBAR. But it's still a far way to the upside. I think the chances are higher that we break to the downside. So what about Dogecoin? Dogecoin didn't do much. We had in bright blue our falling wedge. It broke to the upside. Target 19.5 cents. We got there, so I can take this one out. Now we have a bearish pennant in dark blue. If it breaks to the downside, which is currently the 18.7 cents, then the target of that triangle or bearish pennant is going to be the 17.6 cents for Dogecoin, but we have support at 17.4 cents. If we break to the upside for some reason, the 19.5 cents, then this can also be a double bottom pattern, which breaks to the upside. First target 20.1 cents, second target 20.3 cents. We can even get up to 20.7 cents, but I want to see the 20.7 cents breaking to the upside, then I think we can get a bullish reversal for Dogecoin. So Dogecoin is not looking short or long to me. We have to wait for the breakouts, 18.7 cents, if that breaks to the downside, then it's clear to me that Dogecoin can do some lows. And it's also, if we take it from here to the 18.3 cents, it's 2.2%. If we increase our position size there, then we can even ride the wave down, even up to minus 6.7 cents, which would be our profit if we use a short trade. So I hope that I gave you some valuable information with this update, and we see each other in the Render, Tau, Casper and ONDO update. See you.